Well, welcome to our Tuesday morning devotion. Thank you for joining with us again this morning. This week we're thinking about the nature of evil. Yesterday we had the opportunity to reflect on temptation, which might lead to an act that could be described as evil. I think most people would accept the existence of evil. They may talk about someone that they would describe as evil. For example, somebody who's committed a crime that has shocked everyone, or something that's been made aware of, like a family facing food deprivation, which we may well describe as a modern-day evil. We're looking at the book of Judges in our Tuesday night teaching sessions. So if you want more detail about the context for today's reading, then you're welcome to visit the church's channel on YouTube. Here's the verse for today. It's Judges 3 and verse 7. The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They forgot the Lord their God and served the Baals and the Asherahs. I wonder what you might consider to be a modern-day evil. These are some of the things that came into my mind. Racism is an expression of prejudice towards someone we perceive to be different to us. Dealing illegal drugs for money and ignoring the terrible consequences in the lives of those people who become addicted. Acts of terrorism that destroy the lives of so many. Hunger and starvation in a world where resources aren't equally distributed. The abuse and exploitation of the vulnerable and the impact of neglect rather than care. There are so many, and I'm sure you would add many more to this list. All of this ends up asking the question, how did we end up in such a mess? What has gone wrong? And how can we try and put that right? The book of Judges revolves around a simple formula. The people of the true God of Israel turn away from him, and they begin to worship the gods of their neighbors. This very act is a betrayal of their covenant commitment to God, to have no other gods before him. It's the breach of the very first commandment that was given to Moses. Turning away from the true God of Israel to other gods involved them in practices that are here described as evil. They forgot God, and they sold themselves out to other gods that were in fact no gods at all. We probably haven't had the opportunity to consider that when we pursue other gods, it could be success, money, status, hedonism, so on, and worship them before God, that we are allowing evil to work in our lives. And it is those things, the false gods of this present age, and our love of them, that create a world that is riddled with evil. Not forgetting, of course, all the good in our amazing world. At the root of all of these things that we thought about as modern-day evils is that we have taken our eyes off the true God and begun to worship false gods. And like the people of Israel at the time of the Judges, we are living with the consequences of that. Consequences which affect the lives of every living person on the planet. Let's again use those words from the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples and once more say together, Lord, lead us not into temptation and deliver us from evil. Deliver us from those false gods that want to consume us. And may we be faithful and put you first in our daily lives. Amen.
Take heart, dear sisters, fear not, dear brothers, all you who your